No more suspense. Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has resigned.
I intend to resign as party leader, as Prime Minister.
It's official. Justin Trudeau's resignation has thrown Canadian politics into chaos. After nearly a decade in power, Trudeau's departure has left the Liberal Party scrambling to find a new leader, and the country wondering who will step up to fill the void. The stakes couldn't be higher. The next Liberal leader won't just inherit a fractured party. They'll also face the monumental task of rebuilding trust with voters and taking on a surging opposition in the next federal election. But the question remains, who has what it takes to lead the Liberals into the future? Will it be a familiar face from Trudeau's inner circle, or will the party look to an outsider to rebrand and rebuild? And beyond the Liberal Party, who has the best shot at becoming Canada's next Prime Minister? Could Pierre Poilievre's Conservatives finally take the reins, or will Jagmeet Singh's NDP capitalize on the Liberal collapse? Before we dive in, can I ask for a quick favor? If you're enjoying this video, consider giving it a like and subscribing to the channel. Believe it or not, over 98% of viewers watch without subscribing. It's completely free and helps us keep bringing you the latest on Canadian politics. If you've already hit that button, thank you. Now let's get into it. 1. The Liberal leadership race. Who's in the running? With Trudeau stepping down, the Liberal Party faces a critical decision. Who will take the reins and attempt to rebuild a party that's been battered by declining poll numbers and internal divisions? The field of potential candidates is wide, but each comes with their own strengths, weaknesses, and challenges. Let's break down the most likely contenders. Chrystia Freeland, the loyal deputy. Chrystia Freeland, Trudeau's Deputy Prime Minister and Finance Minister, is one of the most prominent names being floated as a potential successor. Known for her international diplomacy and economic expertise, Freeland has been a key figure in Trudeau's government, often seen as his right-hand woman. But that's also her biggest challenge. She's deeply tied to Trudeau's policies and legacy, which could make it difficult for her to rebrand the party. Freeland's appeal lies in her ability to connect with progressive voters and her reputation as a competent leader during crises such as the NAFTA renegotiations and the COVID-19 pandemic. However, critics argue that her close association with Trudeau's government could alienate voters who are looking for change. The question is, can Freeland step out of Trudeau's shadow and present herself as the leader of a new Liberal era? Anita Anand, the rising star. Anita Anand, Canada's Minister of National Defence, is another strong contender. Anand has earned praise for her leadership during the pandemic, particularly in overseeing Canada's vaccine procurement efforts. As a relatively new face on the national stage, she represents a fresh perspective within the Liberal Party. Anand's biggest challenge is her lack of political experience compared to other contenders. While she's seen as a rising star, some question whether she has the political clout to unite the party and take on seasoned opponents like Pierre Poilievre. Still, her ability to connect with diverse communities and her reputation for competence could make her a strong candidate for the future. Mark Carney, the outsider. Mark Carney, the former governor of the Bank of Canada and the Bank of England, is a name that's been circulating in political circles for years. Carney brings significant economic credibility to the table, and as a political outsider, he's not tied to Trudeau's government, a potential advantage in a time when voters are demanding change. Carney's challenge lies in his inexperience with electoral politics. While he's a respected figure in financial and policy circles, he's never run for office, which could make it difficult for him to navigate the rough and tumble world of Canadian politics. However, his ability to present himself as a pragmatic, solutions-oriented leader could resonate with voters who are tired of partisan bickering. Christy Clark, the centrist challenger. Christy Clark, the former Premier of British Columbia, is another intriguing possibility. Clark has a proven track record of winning tough elections and could position herself as a centrist alternative to Trudeau's progressive legacy. Her vision for the party includes a return to the blue liberal values of fiscal responsibility and pragmatic governance. This is the biggest opportunity in over a decade that we've had to grow our party and welcome new liberals including Canadians concerned about the future of our country. Clark's biggest hurdle is her provincial background. While she's a seasoned politician, her ties to British Columbia politics could make it difficult for her to gain traction on the national stage. Additionally, her push for a more centrist Liberal Party could clash with the progressive base that Trudeau cultivated during his tenure. Other contenders, familiar faces, familiar challenges. Beyond these frontrunners, there are other names being floated, including Mélanie Joly, François-Philippe Champagne, and Dominic LeBlanc. However, these candidates face a common challenge: their close association with Trudeau's government. As things stand, it will be difficult for any candidate from Trudeau's inner circle to differentiate themselves from his legacy. While these candidates bring experience and name recognition, they may lack the ability to present a bold, new vision for the party. The Liberal Party's next leader will need to convince Canadians that they represent a break from the past, not just a continuation of Trudeau's policies. The Liberal leadership race is shaping up to be one of the most consequential in Canadian history. The next leader won't just inherit a struggling party, they'll also face the monumental task of rebuilding trust with voters and taking on a surging opposition. But the challenges don't end there. 2. The challenges facing the next Liberal leader. Whoever takes over as the next leader of the Liberal Party will face an uphill battle. Trudeau's resignation may have opened the door for renewal, but it also leaves behind a party in disarray.
Who is going to lead the Liberal Party after Justin Trudeau? They are still toast.
Declining poll numbers, internal divisions, and a growing disconnect with voters have created a perfect storm for the Liberals. Let's break down the key challenges the next leader will face. The Liberal Party is at one of its weakest points in decades. Polls show that public support for the party has plummeted, with many Canadians expressing frustration over Trudeau's leadership. The next leader will need to unite a fractured party, rebuild its brand, and reconnect with voters who have turned their backs on the Liberals. Whoever is chosen as leader in this sort of truncated process will likely face electoral defeat and then a leadership review unless they perform significantly better than expected. The challenge is twofold. First, the new leader must rally the party's base and heal internal divisions. Second, they must present a compelling vision for the future that resonates with Canadians. Without a clear and unified message, the Liberals risk further alienating voters and losing ground to the opposition. One of the biggest obstacles for the next leader will be Trudeau's legacy. While Trudeau's progressive policies and personal brand once energized the Liberal Party, they've now become a liability. Many Canadians associate the Liberals with Trudeau's controversies, from ethics scandals to perceived failures on housing and affordability. The new leader must find a way to distance themselves from Trudeau's record while maintaining the party's core values. How much of the tanking in the polls is due to Trudeau personally, and how much of it is on the Liberal brand itself? This balancing act will be critical. If the new leader distances themselves too much from Trudeau, they risk alienating the party's progressive base. But if they don't distance themselves enough, they'll struggle to win back disillusioned voters who are demanding change. The reality is that the next leader may be stepping into a no-win situation, but even in defeat, they'll have the opportunity to lay the groundwork for the party's future. The question is, who has the vision and resilience to take on this monumental task? 3. The opposition. Who could replace Trudeau as Prime Minister? While the Liberals scramble to find their next leader, the opposition parties are already positioning themselves to capitalize on the political shakeup. With Trudeau out of the picture, the race for Canada's next Prime Minister is wide open. Let's take a closer look at the key players. Pierre Poilievre, the Conservative frontrunner. Pierre Poilievre, leader of the Conservative Party, has been one of Trudeau's fiercest critics. Known for his sharp attacks on the Liberals and his focus on affordability, Poilievre has positioned himself as the candidate of change. With Trudeau stepping down, Poilievre is now the clear frontrunner to become Canada's next Prime Minister. Poilievre's strengths lie in his ability to connect with voters on key issues like housing, inflation, and government accountability. However, his polarizing style and aggressive rhetoric could alienate moderate voters. The challenge for Poilievre will be to broaden his appeal while maintaining the support of his base. Jagmeet Singh, the progressive alternative. Jagmeet Singh, leader of the NDP, has struggled to gain traction in recent years. Despite Trudeau's declining popularity, the NDP has failed to significantly increase its support. However, with the Liberals in disarray, Singh has an opportunity to position the NDP as the progressive alternative to both the Conservatives and the Liberals. Singh's challenge is twofold. First, he must convince progressive voters that the NDP is a viable alternative to the Liberals. Second, he must address the perception that the NDP lacks the experience and credibility to govern. If Singh can overcome these hurdles, he could play a significant role in shaping Canada's political future. The Bloc Québécois and regional politics. In Quebec, the Bloc Québécois is poised to strengthen its position. With the Liberals losing ground in the province, the Bloc could emerge as a dominant force in Quebec politics. This could have significant implications for the next federal election, as the Bloc's success could further fragment the vote and make it more difficult for any party to secure a majority. The Bloc's rise also highlights the growing regional divides in Canadian politics. As the Liberals struggle to maintain their support in key provinces, the next election could see a further polarization of the electorate along regional lines. The race to replace Trudeau isn't just about the Liberal Party, it's about the future of Canada, with the Conservatives and NDP positioning themselves as the alternatives to Liberal rule. The next election will be a defining moment for the country. Will Canadians choose a new direction under Poilievre or Singh, or will the Liberals find a way to rebuild and reclaim their position as the dominant party? Justin Trudeau's resignation has set the stage for one of the most consequential political battles in Canadian history. The race to replace him as Liberal leader is just the beginning. The next election will determine not only who leads Canada, but also the direction the country takes in the face of mounting challenges. So, what do you think? Who should lead the Liberal Party? And who has the best shot at becoming Canada's next Prime Minister? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on this unfolding story. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.